In this video we are going to see complete working principles on Honeywell W7751H Smart VAV Actuator device. If you are watching our videos first time, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. This will help us to make more videos, and don't forget to click the bell icon button. You will never miss our latest videos. Welcome to the Controls and Systems YouTube channel. Overview. The W7751H Smart VAV Actuator is a factory-integrated variable air volume (VAV) box controller and a 90-second ML6174 Direct-Coupled Actuator in the XL10 family product line. This VAV box controller provides pressure-independent airflow control and pressure-dependent damper control. VAV systems generally provide cool air only to the zones. The W7751H controller provides two additional outputs that control a fan or VAV box reheat coils. The heaters can be staged electric or modulating hot water. Supply and exhaust pressurization control are provided on a zone basis. Specifications. The W7751H Smart VAV Actuator assembly is field-mounted to the VAV box damper shaft, similar to the mounting of a standard actuator. Field wiring 14 to 22 AWG, 2.0 to 0.34 square millimeters, passes through conduit connecting to screw terminals, located under a snap-on cover, on the bottom of the controller. Functional datas. LawnWorks Functional Profile. W7751H controller supports the LawnWorks Functional Profile number 8010 VAV controller, version 1.0. Dimensions: height 149 mm, width 103 mm, depth 95 mm. Relative humidity is 5% to 95% non-condensing. Vibration is V2 level. Corrosion is office environment. Operating temperature, 32 to 125 degrees Fahrenheit. Hardwares: CPU, Motorola or Toshiba 3150 Neuron processor, containing 3 8-bit CPUs. Each neuron has a unique 48-bit network identification number. Memory capacity. The W7751H Smart VAV Actuator uses a 64KB by 8 ROM, 512 bytes of EPROM and 2K of RAM. Differential pressure range, 0 to 2.0 inches. H2O, 0 to 0.5 kilopascals, maximum for the onboard flow sensor. Specified sensing temperature range, 20 kOhm NTC sensor temperature range of 45 to 99 degrees Fahrenheit, 7 to 37 degrees Celsius, with an allowable control set point range from 50 to 98 degrees Fahrenheit, 10 to 32 degrees Celsius. Electrical data. Power supply is 24 volt AC with a valid range of 20 to 30 volt AC at 50 or 60 Hz. Power consumption 6 VA maximum at both 50 and 60 Hz. Verify triac wiring to external devices uses the proper load power 24 volt AC hot terminal, terminal 1 on the W7751H. The 24 volt AC power from an energy limited class 2 power source must be provided to each smart VAV actuator. To conform to class 2 restrictions, transformers must not be larger than 100 VA. The maximum current draw at 24 volt AC is 1.25 amps. Devices connected to the controller must obtain power from the same transformer. Triac output loads must draw a minimum current of 25 mA at 24 volt AC, 60 Hz nominal. Triac maximum current rating, 77 mA. Note: all wiring must comply with applicable electrical codes and ordinances. Wiring connections. First terminal is 24 volt AC power supply. Second terminal is 0 volt or common. Third terminal is earth. Fourth terminal is set point. Fifth terminal is ground. 6th terminal is sensor, 7th terminal is bypass, 8th terminal is LED, 9th terminal is output 1, 10th terminal is output 2, 11th and 12th terminal is E-bus. Controller configurations are not necessarily limited to 3 devices, but the total power draw including accessories cannot exceed 100 VA when powered by the same transformer. W7751 Controller Status LED. The LED on the front of a W7751H controller, located just under the plastic cover, provides a visual indication of the status of the device. When the W7751H receives power, the LED appears in one of the following allowable states. 1. LED off means no power to the processor. 2. LED continuous on means processor is in initialized state. 3. LED slow blinking means controlling normal state. 4. LED fast blinking means when the XL10 VAV controller has an alarm condition. When an XL10 has an alarm condition, it reports it to the central node on the LUN-Works bus. Also, the XL10 VAV controller variables, alarm logs, where X is 1 through 5, that store the last 5 alarms to occur in the controller, are available. These points can be viewed through workstation software. Note: the node can be reset by switching the node to manual and then to the normal operating mode. Alarms. The commissioning tool is used to perform the ID assignment task. Once the ID assignment and commissioning has been done, check the controller status LED to determine if there are any alarms. Inputs and outputs. Inputs: space temperature sensor, remote wall module set point or duct air temperature sensor, remote wall module override, airflow sensor. Outputs: internally wired VAV actuator, floating plus, and floating heat, plus, or stage 1 heat, floating heat, or stage 2 heat. Piping, airflow pickup. Connect the airflow pickup to the 2 connectors on the controller of the W7751H. Notes: use 1/4 inch, 6 mm, outside diameter with 0.040 inches, 1 mm, wall thickness plenum rated 1219 FR, 94 volts -2, pneumatic tubing. Always use a fresh cut on the end of the tubing that connects to the airflow pickups and the connectors on the VAV controllers. Connect the high pressure or upstream tube to the plastic restrictor labeled plus high, or P1, and the low pressure or downstream tube to the restrictor labeled dash low, or P2. Notes: if controllers are mounted in unusually dusty or dirty environments, a 5-micron disposable air filter is recommended for the high-pressure line, marked as plus, connected to the airflow pickup. When using twin tubing from pickup, split pickup tubing a short length to accommodate connections. Tubing from airflow pickup to VAV controller should not exceed 3 feet, 0.914 meters. Lengths longer than this can degrade flow sensing accuracy. To prevent VAV airflow connector breakage, use caution when removing tubing from it. Always pull straight away from connector, never remove by pulling at an angle. Caution: equipment damage hazard. Mounting actuator unevenly with damper housing can damage actuator. Mount actuator flush with damper housing or add spacer between mounting tab and damper box housing. Broadcasting the service message. The service message allows a device on the LUN-Works bus to be positively identified. The service message contains the controller neuron ID number and, therefore, can be used to confirm the physical location of a particular XL10 in building. There are 3 methods of broadcasting the service message from an XL10 W7751H controller. 1. Physical service pin on controller. First, remove the plastic cover and the white button is located next to the terminal strip. Second, momentarily pressing the service pin broadcasts the service message on the network. 2. Using the wall module bypass push button. 3. The following method is only supported on eVision and LonSpec. We discussed this topic in another video. Communications. The W7751H uses an FTT transformer coupled communications port with Manchester encoded data presented to controllers and devices on the LonWorks bus at 78 kilobits per second, kbs, via echelon communication. Protocol. The transformer-coupled communications interface offers a much higher degree of common mode noise rejection while assuring DC isolation. The LonWorks bus is polarity insensitive, eliminating installation errors due to miswiring. The maximum LonWorks bus network length is 5,000 feet, 1,524 meters. The maximum number of nodes per LonWorks bus segment is 60. Approved cable types for LonWorks bus communications wiring is level 422 AWG, 0.34 square millimeters, plenum or non-plenum rated unshielded, twisted bare, solid conductor wire. Damper mounting. The actuator on the W7751H mounts directly onto the VAV box damper shaft and has up to 70 pounds in, 8 Nm, torque, 90-degree stroke, and 90 seconds timing at 60 Hz. Before mounting the W7751H onto the VAV box damper shaft, determine the following. 1. The actuator is suitable for mounting onto a 3/8" 10 mm square or round VAV box damper shaft, using the included 201,391 shaft adapter, or onto a 1/2" 13 mm square or round VAV box damper shaft. 2. If the length of the VAV box damper shaft is less than 1 3/8" 35 mm, use the short shaft adapter kit, not included, Part No. 4074 AVC. 3. The direction the damper shaft rotates to open the damper, CW or CCW. 4. The damper opening angle, 45, 60, or 90 degrees. If damper shaft diameter is 3/8" 10 mm, round or square, use Part 201,391 shaft adapter, shipped with the W7751H Smart VAV Actuator. Ensure it is placed opposite set screws. The adapter centers a 3/8" 10 mm shaft in the hub. Failure to use the adapter on a 3/8" 10 mm shaft causes the mounting tab to loosen. A 1/2" 13 mm shaft does not require the use of the adapter. The W7751H assembly is field mounted to the VAV box damper shaft, the same as used for a typical actuator. The actuator on the W7751H opens or closes a damper by driving the damper shaft in either the counterclockwise, CCW, or clockwise, CW, direction. The minimum VAV box damper shaft length is 1 3/4", 45 mm. The actuator has a mounting tab on the bottom for securing to a VAV box damper. The mounting tab is accessible through a hole in the controller with its cover removed. The tab is sized for a 1/4", 6 mm, screw or pin, not included. The controller enclosure on the W7751H is constructed of a sheet metal housing and a plastic snap-on cover. Controller wiring on the W7751H is terminated to screw terminal blocks located under the snap-on cover. Auxiliary switches. The 201,052 A/B C auxiliary switch can be used with the W7751H. It allows for control of equipment external to the actuator, for example, electric reheat coils or fan, at an adjustable point in the stroke, from 0 to 90 degrees, of the actuator. The 201,052 switch is field added. Self-tapping Phillips head screws are included with the switch. The switch can be mounted only one way with the switch contacts pointed to the top of the actuator. We hope this video is useful to you. Thank you for watching our video.